Peter, you are a Flemish philosopher, mathematician, and you have a recipe how to stop the financial tyranny, and you would like to end to all financial tyranny and with it and poverty, yes, social injustice, inequality, and etc. etc. How to end it?
Well, basically, we live in a world. I would love to show this because these are beginnings of what is going to be my artwork. I'm working on this to make an exposition as an artist, but then basically visual. This will be part of it. But since I was a kid, I felt that we were living in a world dominated by numbers, and we are not only dominated by numbers, we are dominated with everything that has to do with numbers, because we do believe there is such a thing like negative numbers. We all believe it when we go to school. I had to explain to my kids how to deal with negative numbers, and it's at the moment when I explain to my kids that I understood, no, I'm lying to them. I'm telling to them that they have to deal with something that they cannot really deal with because it doesn't exist. So we are all taught to deal with something that isn't really true to our environment. It's a lie, a concept that we introduce. So basically we do it by using a symbol but giving it two different meanings. And because of the fact that a little kid isn't smart enough to really investigate all these things we do, they say, okay, I accept, I accept, I accept. And because we all accept this, we don't really understand how much we gave the power to all the people with the numbers, right? To the banks, to the people who deal with the numbers. So basically, if you understand this, and people wouldn't let themselves be guided by mathematicians who teach them to deal with negative numbers, we could end all financial tyranny, because people wouldn't be able to talk about things that aren't really true anymore. So basically, if we make a good definition of what is one, then we would definitely be able to to say no to all this under zero terrorism what is going on at this moment, because basically the idea that one person can count with an accountability that deals with the coming years, like the United States is already right now financing the whole of its finances through financing of the coming years, while you as a citizen cannot do this, is unfair. Plus the fact that you should have the ability to check the accounting that is done for you on a higher level, as much as they should be able to check your accounting on a lower level. There should be equality right here too, which doesn't exist. Because if you start asking questions about these things, they tell you, it's not for you, it's for the people of the banks, right? That's basically the philosophy of Mad Artist Foundation. We are all against this exploiting in an unfair way of our brain capacity. We are worth much more than this exploiting. We should give the credit to the little kids what they deserve, not take it away from them. That's basically what we're doing. And we're all in such a way brainwashed that if you learn the definition of a prime number when you're like 10 years old, only the number is only divisible by 1 in itself. How would you be possibly smart enough at that time to understand they're pulling a big scam on you at that moment? You couldn't. You can only do it by thinking and thinking an awful lot about it, by defending yourself against the world that doesn't want you to use words against them. So I've learned how to use their words, their things against them. That's what I'm doing right now, and I'm getting better at it every day. Yeah.
Okay, hope to see the results of your investigation.
Yeah.
Of research.
Yeah. I'm going to confront in a as confronting way possible right now with all the work I've done. The mathematicians, but I've got a lot of letters laying around right here with mathematicians, and I could show you with the letters the fact that they are so holding on to what they are taught to believe, that actually I could almost explain to you mathematics is not really a science, it's rather a belief than it is science, because real science is exact, but mathematics is not an exact science. To my true belief, mathematics is the language through which we communicate with our environment. And because of the fact that mathematics cannot explain the building blocks of the numbers, which are the prime numbers, we're in deep shit, right? Because if you can explain the most pure, the most fine thing that you have to do, divide, divide, two empties, divide. It's like where the words come from. For me, I'm lucky enough to always understand the origin because of my Latin education, and I've always looked for the Greek words also, which whatever they would mean. So if you look at dividare, it comes from the big statement, divide and rule. So we have a problem with the divide part. We don't understand the two empties because of the fact that we do believe numbers belong to the material realm of things, while in reality numbers are an expression of time. They are not an expression, and you can hear it in the words too, 2 times 1, give me a second. And there's other ways of looking at it. If you look at some composition within the words, if you look at the letter N in our language, N plus 8 is nacht. In Spanish, N plus ocho is noche. So N plus 8 in French is nuit. So the numbers also, 8 meant night, and 9 meant nuovo, nove, 9. So 9 has the meaning of 8 is the night, and at 9 we start again. So I'm not saying this, it's within the words itself, but we are taught to go to school, and then when we go to the mathematics class we say 1, that's 1, and when we go to the Netherlands class we say, oh, that is 1, and we write the word, right? So they split up our understanding of 1 in 2 different ways, words and numbers. And that's how it's possible that 25 centuries after the Greeks so said, made the definition of a prime number, that I'm coming up with a solution for it, right? Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. I think we've hit it, Maxim?